Good morning and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I'm Larry Kalvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. Thanks for listening. We have Kyle Thomas, certified financial planner on the Haven investment team, on with us today, Kim. And we got a lot to talk about, how to manage financial uncertainty. And it seems like there's all kinds of uncertainty and there's something new in the news all the time. So listeners, feel free to give us a call at 612-504-8400 or visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. Kim, great to be with you.
Great to be with you as well, Larry. You know, it is so interesting. And Kyle, great to have you. Thanks for being a part of the show today.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You know, guys, wouldn't you say that when we get to the end of 2025, you know how they always look back and there's certain words that describe the year? I think uncertainty will be one of the words that is used for 2025. You know, we started with a new administration. Then immediately we got into the whole issues of tariffs. Now tariffs are on hold, but we don't know if, in fact, they are going to take place. We just all feel very uncertain. And that can make, I think, for emotional decisions and can also make people walk the floors at night, Larry.
Oh, I'd agree. I think you're 100% accurate. We're going to look back and, you know, inflation's still looming. It's top of people's minds. Their pocketbooks are hurting. Markets are swinging in every direction, up and down. And 1 minute it's crashing. Next, it's all-time highs. Well, what really is it? You know, job and unemployment data, it looks good, but then why are people so worrisome about what's going on? So, again, there's always new headlines, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we can do on the show today to try to alleviate or give you confidence into what you're doing, whatever your plan is. And again, you need to start with a plan. That's, sure, I think, a good place to start.
Well, let me just ask you guys, you know, what is the role that you're playing with some of your clients in this time that is uncertain, and then coming in and they're asking a lot of questions? And I would imagine, Kyle, some are even coming in and saying, should we change our plan?
Yeah, there are questions like that, and there are questions about allocation. There's questions about their sustainability and retirement. It's a wide array, but most of the time it doesn't necessarily revolve around the investment allocations, because we from the very beginning try to set up what the plan is, that we and the clients are both aware of that plan, and it's something that we're going to stick to for a long time. So yes, every once in a while there are questions about that specific thing, but most of the time, because we set that up from the very beginning, any questions that we receive are we going to be okay? That's what, sure, it's centered around.
Absolutely.
And some of the biggest things that we do as advisors is behavioral coaching and managing emotions. Because that's something that we're super powerful and impactful for these clients on, because, you know, we have seen the studies and know how people would react if they were to be doing things on their own. And that's why people hire us, because, you know, we're managing these things without that emotion. We're completely taking that out of there, because studies show that when you take emotion out of it, that's when you can actually perform the best within your investments.
Well, and I think you can understand why people can't really take their emotions out of it. I mean, it is certainly an emotional thing. Your money is emotional for you because it's your future. Let me back up for just a second before we continue, though, to talk about managing money, your emotions, and talk a little bit about what are some of the circumstances in these uncertain times that maybe you would make tweaks or changes in people's investment strategy or in their retirement strategy.
Well, keep in mind, you know, we're talking to folks that are, you know, retired or planning for retirement, maybe 5 years or less. We're not limited in scope at Haven Financial Group in any capacity, but that's really who we're speaking to. So the element of time looms. They're on the cusp of retirement. The paychecks might be stopping. Where do we generate income from? You know, are we going to take money out of the market when the market's very volatile, and that worries people? Do I have enough money? When am I going to run out of money? These are all of the things that we address from the very beginning when we're building out a plan for folks that we sit down with. Yeah, I mean, you know, everything from expenditures to the healthcare to all the things that people worry about in retirement, because up until this point, if you've been working, you've had insurance through work, you had paychecks going in, Now it completely changes, and you're in the golden years, and now you have to map out all these things that were kind of taken for granted all those years that you were working.
Hmm. How do you ensure and make your clients feel better at night that they are doing the right things during these, again, uncertain times?
Well, we stress test everything from the very beginning.
Hmm.
And so we find out what kind of goals that the clients are trying to achieve. And we stress that out over 30, 40 years into the mid 90s for their life expectancy. Sometimes we go over 100 too, depending on genes and all that. But that's the biggest thing, because if we can stress that and test thousands of different market cycles, inflation rates, and spending patterns, we can come out to a very good estimate of that success rate in retirement and being able to maintain the lifestyle that they were living before retirement or what they were planning to live in retirement. And that provides so much comfort for them in knowing that if we have a really bad market here, if we have 08, 09 happen, multiple times, we're still going to be all right in this situation. And sometimes there's success rates that are, 70%. But that also means that if you have to adjust things, you don't have to adjust those things for maybe 20 years. Those last 10 years in retirement is where things maybe get a little, wishy-washy, but there's also a 70% chance that you don't have to adjust things. So, finding out what kind of success rate inside the plan and being in the green zone, the confidence zone, is providing so much comfort for people that we work with.
Yeah. Those stress tests to me just seem like, once you know that your portfolio has been through that's got to give you some peace of mind. If these tariffs would take effect in the way that they've been threatened, gentlemen, how might retirees be affected?
So the tariff, that's been the biggest conversation for
Sure.
the changing financial world for this year. It was interest rates for the previous few years, but now it's all tariff based, and there's so much uncertainty within those. No one knows how to price that in. No one knows what companies are actually going to be forced to come back to the United States, and no one knows what price adjustments are going to be taking place. Now, I do expect, some tariffs or some trading to maintain, but the tariffs themselves will probably, fade away over time here. We already saw, over the last week, the European Union trade negotiations with the U.S. it's looking good and positive there. That's why the market jumped up there. But there is going to be some implications and price increases causing some inflation, because once prices go up, they tend to not really come down.
Right.
The people who are selling their product, people got used to that new price. So why would they bring it down? Because they're all about profits themselves too. But there is going to be some inflation there, and we are allocating specifically to Treasury inflation protected securities that hedge against that. And there's also other products like a fixed index annuity that can hedge against that with having no downside, and then upside potential linked to an S&P index. So there's other ways that we can hedge against any potential inflation. It's just a matter of finding what kind of comfort level and risk profile you should have.
Sure. Absolutely. So, gentlemen, in the end, I think one of the things that we established right off the top, though, is that what people in these uncertain times really need is a manager like you guys there at Haven Financial Group, because you're taking the emotion out of it and you're understanding why your clients feel so emotional about it.
Most definitely. I think the secret here is that you have a partner that you can lean on, probably more so in these crucial times when things are volatile. That's what we really strive to do at Haven Financial Group. And we spend the time. I think clients would attest that we're not in any rush. There's no quotas to how many times we can get together. We want to give them confidence into what the plan is, why they established the plan, and how we continue to monitor it and modify it as life happens, because it doesn't stay the same. There could be health circumstances, there could be a whole variety of things, and we want to spend the quality time to give them that comfort and the confidence. And that's what I find most people Kim, are just not getting.
Sure.
Getting together once to twice a year to talk for 30 minutes to an hour for what you're paying, that's not the attention anybody deserves. So, whether you're a level-headed investor or or the state of your financial portfolio keeps you up at night, that's not good. We want people to sleep good. Sometimes we call it sleep insurance. We want to put you in a position where you're not ready to jump off the cliff every time the market goes up and down. And that's done by spending the time that you deserve. And most people, Kim, are just not getting it.
Right. Well, if that sounds like something you'd benefit from, then why don't you give the folks at Haven Financial Group a call? The number is 612-504-8400. That's 612-504-8400. Tell them you heard us here on the radio. You'd like to set up an appointment and go in and meet with the experts. You can also check out their website. It's havenfinancialgroup.com. All right, still coming your way, the economy and the markets. We have to tell you, they are different. That is for sure. And we're going to talk about how. This is the Haven Financial Group radio show.